Right, audio's live.
Oh boy.
So MBNA have just sent me more credit cards, which I did not request. So what's that all about? Blah, 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 blah. A credit card for me and a credit card for Judith. I must have these from before. Credit card bills, blah, blah, blah. 2 letters. One with 2 cards.
Dan says he'll take one off your hands.
Yeah, as long as you carry on making payments, yeah.
If you don't mind, Dan, the credit limit on these cards is 10,000. So no. No. All right, I hate that. Yeah. Oh well, there was a good one there. There was one of mine. Was it one of my main card, my Amazon card? They kept on. No, I tell you what it was. We bought something on with PayPal credit, and they gave us credit for, I don't know, it's 5,000 is our credit limit on PayPal automatically. And they kept on emailing me to say we're upping your credit limit to 10 grand or 15 grand or whatever. You know, if you don't contact us, we'll automatically up it. People get themselves in trouble so easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I generally only use one, but in my wallet or around me, I have 2 or 3 cards that we use, but one's the main one. But if I was to gather all of the cards that between Judith and I have, I'd say that I could go out today and probably spend 100 or 150 grand on credit cards. You know,
It's nuts, isn't it?
Scary, isn't it? Yeah.
It's absolutely. Okay.
Right, we're ready now.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Alright, here we go.
Like it's just the Three Amigos.
Okay. And fucking marshmallow man.
Right, I'm rolling titles.
Okay.
Don't hear anything.
Nope.
Here we go!
There it is.
I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, good evening. My name is Robin Tate. My handle on the internet is @Bongo the Sane. And today is the 28th of June, believe it or not, of 2020. That weird, wonderful year, which is not weird. Well, definitely weird, but definitely not wonderful. This is, believe it or not, a video game podcast. There are myself and 2 others on the show tonight. I've got Kim and Mark. Hello.
Hello.
And we do this every week live. Amazing. And we go out at 9 o'clock in the UK, 1 o'clock on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the East Coast. And for Kim, we get 3 p.m. in our Central. And we do this on twitch.tv/OC podcast, on YouTube, and soon to be on Facebook, I'm quite sure. Anyway, we'll get to that in a while. Okay, right. We've got Kim, we've got Mark. We've got a birthday, get that out of the road. Old Descent, that lorry driving angel, the man who is the wonderful driver who posts photographs on social media of 40-foot lorries badly parked. Yeah, Mike Higgins will be 51 years old. Sorry, Mike, you're going to be 51 years old on the first day of July. So congratulations for that, Mike. I don't think there's any more birthdays. Do anybody say any more birthdays? Birthdays that matter? Elon Musk, today?
No, but on Friday it was my granddaughter's first birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, Ava was 1, and on the same day was mine and Jenny's 27th wedding anniversary.
Holy shit, that's
So,
right.
Nice.
Yeah, so 27 years.
27. What am I? Come on. 23. What was it? 1997. Help me.
Yeah, I got married in 93, but we actually met in 88, so we've been together over 30 years. It's crazy when you think about it.
I got nothing.
Judith and I met about 88 minutes before we got married. Well, I think it was 6 months. So, yeah. Okay, so happy birthday, Mike. And, yeah, let's get stuck in and have a chat about what's what. Happy birthday to you, Mike. Happy birthday to you, Mike. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Mike. Damn it, right. Diatribe time. Yeah, what a strange week. I'm just...
Yeah.
You know, I know we'll get into the story time in a wee second, but just it's so odd. Yeah, with all the stuff that's going on, I don't blame anybody for feeling a bit down, a bit blue. And at the top of the hour, I just want to tell you right now, a really, really good friend, and someone that you all know, and then know the name if you've never met. Thankfully, luckily, some of us got to meet this guy last year. But Gary, Amras89, has been very, very ill. Really, really ill, and in fact is still very ill right at this moment in time. As far as we are aware, he is in intensive care and was put into intensive care yesterday in America, and he's in the best place he can possibly be. He's on a ventilator, nothing to do with COVID as far as we are aware. We've just before the show started got word that he is starting to regain some of his color, so which hopefully is on the line on the road to recovery. So, we got a message in the middle of the night last night that Gary had taken very, very ill. And of course, if you haven't listened to Gary and Dan's podcast, The Gamesman, they've been going for a very, very long time and they're best of buddies. Gary left America for the very, very first time, I believe, last year and came over to meet us in London at EGX. And we spent a few days with Gary, and a very lovely, lovely guy. Yeah. So from everybody, I ain't quite sure I can speak to our listeners and everybody here at the show, the whole team, we wish you a speedy recovery, Gary, little bollocks. So get yourself up out of that bed and get back to the butts again and a speedy recovery. Yeah. Okay, let's get into some story time. Yeah? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Play your bloody thing.
Hooray, story time. Hooray, story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
Hi. So there you go. Hopefully that's positive news, huh? Yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay, our glorious leader, Greg DeLacy, he is... because of lockdown, Greg, like our Judith and I, has a disabled child. Whatever, special needs. And they didn't really have any cover or respite, as we call it. So a break to get away, because, you know, with these big kids, it's hard work. I don't know it. And I think this weekend, Cindy and Greg had an opportunity to get away, and they went away wine tasting, and have had a nice meal. They're on their way back home now, I believe, but they've had a good weekend. We've seen some photographs. They've had a great old time, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer couple. So that's great stuff. And just as well, they did it this weekend, because again, just before I came out to the show, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has said he's shutting all the bars and restaurants all down again.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Better safe than sorry. Whatever.
Yep.
So maybe just as well they got that weekend. So that's why he's not here, and the rest of the guys are all off doing different bits and pieces. So but everybody's back, and us old faithfuls are here. You know, wonderful Kim sporting her new haircuts. It's pretty fab in a tank top. And
Yes.
and Mark, just the same as Mark. Good morning.
Yeah.
And Mark.
Anyway,
Mark.
let's catch up where we're at. Stuff that's happened this week. Okay, stuff that arrived. New things. This arrived. Yeah, that boy
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
Echo Show. Yeah.
So my Echo Show arrived on Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. It's surprisingly solid. It's a
Yeah.
very solid. So the Echo Show is an Amazon device, central hub. It has a screen on 10-inch screen on it. It sounds fabulous. Really
Yeah, the speaker's really good for the size of it. It's good quality, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
really deep and bassy, nice and easy to set up. What would I say? I'd say it could do with a bit more fizz in the processor inside it. It's not
Yeah.
the fastest of
No.
things, but for what I have it for, which is in the kitchen to watch a bit of YouTube, a bit of Amazon to listen to some music, to some timers, and to watch my cameras
Yeah.
around the house. And that works very well with the Nest cameras, even though it's not an Amazon product. So you just say, show bandstand, show front of the house. See how responsible I'm being tonight. Yeah.
I'm
So, yeah, it's doing exactly what I needed to do. Now, what I did do last night, also in the middle of the night, I ordered some TP-Link, which is Kazaa, which is already got TP-Link plugs. So I also have a Philips Hue around the house, but I've got a few of these TP-Link plugs, which are out on the bandstand for the lights outside and the hot tub lights, and again I use a couple more at Christmas time I use for that. So there's just like smart plugs. So and it's TP-Link that do those, the version I have. But they also have these mini indoor cameras called Tapos. So I want one for out here, for the kids, because they go a bit wild out here, and I just need to keep an eye on that. And I'm going to get rid of the old-fashioned thing that we have up in Jasmine's room, the baby monitor. So I'm going to put one of these in, and again use the same. They'll work with the Echo Show as well. So get rid of the baby monitor. So it's one thing less that way. So yeah, we're gonna. So there's a couple of those in order. They weren't overly dear, and they're reviewed very, very well. So I'm going to try those. Anyway, other stuff that happened. So last week on the show, Pete the Bollocks was talking about this vodka, if you remember. Okay, and it was called Gallery Premium Vodka Marshmallow flavor. So on the show, I ordered a bottle of this stuff. It came in a Mills and Boon style box, like a lady's novel, all very pink. It's a very ladies drink, I'm quite sure.
saying novel. I'm thinking it come in a box that looks like something else, but all right.
It's not it's 50 cl. So, and I gotta say, if you remember in the 90s, that peach schnapps was very, very popular. It was everything everybody drank. So it has the sort of consistency of that. It has as little to do with vodka as you can possibly think of, and it is what was the drink you said, Mark? That
American cream soda when we were
like
kids.
yeah.
Fizzy pop. Yeah.
Like cream soda. It's too easy to drink. It's ridiculous. It's real. Yeah, you would be on your ear very. I would be on my ear very quickly. So I'm limiting it to just a glass. Just drinking it straight, nothing in it, because you have no need. I'm sure if you were sick with it, it would be terrible. But it is very, very drinkable. So that's a Gallery Marshmallow Vodka. Pete, you bad man. And I suppose the last thing that I was enjoying this week was Ozark. You're all talking about Ozark.
Yeah.
Flicks. Wow, it's really good.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. I still haven't started season 3, but
I'm only
1
on-
and 2 is brilliant. Yeah.
I think I've watched about 5 or 6 episodes just in the last few days. It's just very addictive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. Sorry, are you talking about my cockpit already? Maybe, it looks like it should go in your cockpit. Yeah. When I'm on my speaking about things in your cockpit, when I'm on my cross trainer in the mornings, I put on a stupid movie. So as you know, I've been going through the Nicolas Cage stuff. This week or the past week, I had watched Rampage.
Yeah.
with The Rock,
Yep.
which was a silly, fun monster movie. But I put on Pulp Fiction again, which isn't a stupid movie. But I've just put it on again. So I've just this morning I got to the piece where it's all about Zed. So talking about putting things in your cockpit. They're in the basement at the moment. Marcellus Wallace is getting his eyes opened, or maybe his arse. Terrible. Absolutely, yeah. So look, I'm busy. It's amazing. Mark, you said through the week that, isn't it amazing how little time we have? We were talking about stuff that was going on with Mixer, and our templates here had Mixer links to them, and we had to change those, and there's just so much. It's, I don't know. I mean,
it just seems the older you get, the more valuable time seems to be, and the more it slips away from you.
No kidding.
I mean, again, on a Sunday morning, Judith would have generally went out to church, and that hasn't happened now in months and months. So we've been home. So we've been all home together, and it's just been a crazy busy morning, and then crazy busy day. Got on the phone after a 30-minute wait to Ryanair, and they've agreed to send my complete money back for the flights to Malta, which is fantastic. It might take 3 months, but at least that's that. So there's that. Now I'm trying to track down a new car for Judith, because we have to change that car very, very soon. It's coming up to 3 years old, and we're going to change. So trying to go, which way to go, and how do we do, and starting to research all that, and then deal with the kids, and then Jasmine sleeps for 2 hours, and that's about only time you have to do anything quietly. Kim, you know this for the week one, 2-year-old, it's just exhausting.
It is.
Exhausting, because they never stop. It's non-stop. Jesus, don't climb up there. You're swinging on the fucking lights. Don't take that apart. Don't do that again. What are you hitting that with a fucking rolling pin for? Don't eat that. What are you doing? Oh, God, another dirty nappy. Jeez.
Right.
I'm moaning a bit. I'm sorry. Am I having a moan? Am I moaning?
That's the beauty of being a grandparent. You can sort of like play about with them, mess about, then you can go, there you go, have them back. Smells a bit, your job.
So it's been busy. Again, I am really busy in work again, which I shouldn't be. I'm not allowed to be. I shouldn't be. But I am. It's just crazy busy, and it shouldn't. So, and I have another busy week ahead. I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry, everybody, I'm having a moan. Forgive me. I'm having a moan. Somebody else talk. Blech.
Hang on, let me get my notes up. Right. Phone update. You ready?
Yep. Sure. Go for it.
It's really, really shit.
Still loving it. Yes, still got no issues with it whatsoever. Today I've noticed my predictive text isn't showing up anymore, and I don't know why, and I can't find it in my settings. So that's the first thing what's niggling me. But apart from that, yeah, still no issues with it. I still love it. So yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's the start of it, breaking down the battery.
Yeah.
Just look it up on Google.
Yeah.
The battery, you're going to have to charge it again over and over and over again.
No, it's still
time
lasting 2 days.
whatsoever.
No, it's still doing well.
Yeah, not at all. Nah, it's going to be crap. It is going to be crap.
Yeah, my wife's a bit annoyed that I've switched because she used to like the iMessage, and we're in our house. It's pretty poor signal no matter what network you're on. And because she can't use iMessage, which is on Wi-Fi, it uses normal SMS. Her messages don't always go to me, so she's a bit annoyed I've changed, but that's the only downside.
Absolutely. I'm totally on her side. Absolutely. So is that up? So do you sit and look at it, Mark? Do you sit and go, oh, look at you, you lovely thing, you?
Yeah, I'll sit there stroking it going, nice phone. No,
Did you get one of those My Little Pony covers for it? No.
No, I've got a nice see-through cover because it's got a nice blue outer case on it. So I've put a nice see-through case on it. It's got one of those things in the middle you can put a magnet on. So in my car I've got one of the magnet holders. The only thing I do miss is on my iPhone I have the card wallet inside it, and twice now I've been shopping. I've got to the checkout and I've gone for my phone. I thought, oh fuck, how do I pay for my shopping? And I've left my card in my car a couple of times. I've had to run out and get my card. So yeah, I still haven't got it in my muscle memory that I don't carry my card in my phone anymore.
And it's funny, speaking of cards, I've talked about my Curve credit card before. I mean, we were talking about credit cards earlier as well. I don't know why it came in, but I have this Curve credit card. It's made of metal. It's really cool, and it's like an all-in-one card. So all of my credit cards are on this. So I choose in an app which one I want to use, and I get Curve points, which you get 1% back, and then I use it. So as soon as I pay for something, it fires it to my card of choice, which is my Amazon card. So I get 1% on it as well. And you build up a little currency there on your Amazon stuff, and it's all in one too. You don't have one card. But a lot of these card services, and there's lots of them advertised. A lot of them were going through a company called Wirecard, I think it's called, a big American company, which went down the Swanee this week.
Oh yes, I saw that online.
31 billion.
Yeah.
Now, so
Yikes.
what's happened is Curve rented the services or had the license to supply credit to me and to others. So they got the money, then they pay Amazon, blah blah. They make a commission somewhere in there. My Curve Now card is now stopped. I can't use it at the moment temporarily until they get another provider. But that thing is gonna. It's amazing what the fallout that's gonna be of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So be careful. Wirecard, 31 billion. Yeah. So yeah. So sorry, have you been using things like Google Pay in shops then?
Yeah. I used to use Apple Pay, but I now use Google Pay. One of the features I do like is on Apple Pay, I had to press the button to activate it when it was in standby. On this one, you just hold it by the reader and it automatically knows it's a pay system and it automatically does it. And just recently in the UK, they upped the limit from £30 to £45 for contactless payments. So it does come in a lot more handier and easier. But when you're doing sort of like a shopping which is like 100 odd quid a time, then obviously you can't use it for that. But yeah, Google Pay is just as good as Apple Pay. You don't really see the difference. It's really easy.
But man, do people not say to you, "Oh wow, nobody ever uses that"? Cool.
No? Well, a lot of the McDonald's drive-thrus have just reopened recently, and nearly everyone I saw going through the drive-thru was using the phones to pay for stuff. It looked really weird, but yeah, it's cool bit of technology.
Yeah, good stuff. Anything else? Well, just you're back at work. You're working.
I'm still working. Yeah. All these people saying that they've been out of work for 3 months and bored stupid. I've had none of that. I've been working all the way through it all, which I suppose is good and bad. So
our kids start their summer holidays on Tuesday. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the Northern Ireland holidays are that's the sort of end of June until beginning of September.
Yeah. I don't think parents will ever complain about 6 weeks holidays ever again after having 3 months of them at home. So.
No, definitely not. No, and the poor kids are bored too.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, we have been mixing. I mean, we had a load of. I mean, it was Judith's birthday yesterday, so there was 3 of forgive us. All are there's 2 direct families, Judith's 2 sisters that live around the corner, and all their kids were there, and their foster kids because everybody now fosters in our family, and then there was 2 other families came along which are friends of ours that are fostering. So our house was frigging crazy yesterday. I'd say at one point there was probably 30 kids in it and 10 adults, 12 adults. Just nutballs. Sorry. Social distancing. But I'm saying to her sisters, Judith is just in her element because apart from it being crap weather, I mean, it's like bloody winter out there tonight and blowing a gale.
Yeah, it's horrible today, isn't it? Yeah.
Judith's in the middle of all this, baking buns, getting everybody coffee, I haven't been was in the middle of all the noise and the kids, and that's she's happiest. So,
Yeah, it's weird because typical British weather. Like back end of last week, we were hitting records. It was like 30 degrees here in West Yorkshire. Some places were hitting 32 degrees, and then today it's 12.5, raining, fucking miserable, horrible. So,
awful.
Wow.
Awful. Okay, Kim, tell us about your hair.
I got it cut. I got tired of.
How did you get it cut? Because we can't. Unless you know somebody in the trade, or my wife with the pair of clippers, you can't get your hair cut here. All barber shops and salons are closed.
Yeah, we're open, and you've got to still wear a mask. I mean, I walked in, she took my temperature and all that, and I had to wear a mask. So, which was kind of funny because I wore the mask for most of the time. Then about halfway through, she was like, "You don't have to wear that anymore." So,
Yeah. And
You know.
do you have to put the thermometer there?
right. So, yeah. So, it's bad because my family reunion was that day, and they kept going back on, well, we're gonna have one, then we're not gonna have one, and finally in between there, I thought I need a haircut. So I scheduled my haircut, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna have one. I'm like, family reunion, get my haircut. I got my haircut, as you can see. So. So I'm sure I'm the black sheep of the family right now because instead of going to the reunion, I got my haircut. But anyway, so yeah, I got my haircut because I got tired of pulling it back in a ponytail, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna wear it up, I might as well just chop the shit off. So I'm happy with it. And other than that, I got my schedule for work next month, and I actually have more days off next month than I had for this month. So yay for that! So, because like you said, I've got a 1-year-old. Well, actually, I've got 2 1-year-olds every once in a while, and a 7-year-old that I have to watch on certain days. And yeah, when you only get like 2 days off in a month, or 1.5 in this case, it makes for a long month. So
Well, you've got next weekend is 4th of July weekend for you guys, isn't that right? So
Yep.
that's a big holiday time as well.
It's going to be a big
Yeah.
holiday over here as well because 4th of July, that's when all the pubs reopen.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, I'll not be on those. So sorry. You know what? Sorry, I'm not. This stupid stuff. Did you see? You said the good weather, and people being sensible. I'm dabbling on the edge here, so forgive me. The people that went to the beach
yeah,
and
right.
those photographs
Yeah.
in England. Now there was one beach they showed, and people were like 10 feet apart in their own little family groups. I'm fine with that, but there was another one there. And it looked like it was fucking Spain and Marbella.
Yeah, it was like
in the
we were
middle
like
of
packed in
summer.
like sardines, weren't they? Yeah.
Just what is this? And then in Liverpool, because Liverpool
Oh,
Football
yeah.
Club won the big thing, and outside the big thing, the big town centre in Liverpool, they're out celebrating fireworks. What are these people thinking? Forget about the riots and the protests and all of that stuff where everybody has been together, and of course you don't catch anything when you're in a riot. But it's just, where are people's sense? Where is their? I don't understand.
No, I've stopped watching the news now. I don't look at social media as much. I just don't worry about it. I just keep myself isolated from it all. It's because otherwise it just wind me up.
You'd think I would learn, Mark. So some of you's noticed I got myself in a bit of hot bother through the week. This is the last thing I'll say about this. So, as you know, I'm very, very interested in U.S. politics. Not even more so than the UK. Just time for America.
It's fascinating
Interesting.
stuff, isn't it?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
fascinating. Yes, I love it all. Anyway, I try to be as balanced as I possibly can. So I listen to both sides. I follow people on Twitter on both sides. And Joe Biden, he came out of his bunker, his basement. His nurse helped him out and put him in front of a podium. And he gave this speech, very calm and collected and presidential and just boring, sleepy Joe, giving the people what they want instead of the Trumpy. Woo! I dared. So I watched it all, and towards the very end of it, I dare put on Twitter, that really put me to sleep. I swear, God, my Twitter feed went fucking bananas for 24 hours. I answered. I think that night, that was at 8 o'clock or so. I think I answered. I did. I just went and answered them all. I think it was about 150 tweets I answered. I was threatened with death, removal of testicles. I was MAGA trash. Just from that one line, I thought this was a. Sorry, I think it was. This put me to sleep.
Yeah.
You know. There was nothing, it was as inoffensive as that. I didn't criticize anybody. I said, it's a bit boring. It put me to sleep. Jesus, they came out of the woodwork and
But what I like about you, Robin, is all your replies were all polite and nice and not patronising in any way, but you weren't nasty in one bit, and there were superb replies.
One bit, and what annoyed
Bless
me
their
was the
hearts.
Yeah, that was the thing. Some of them just went nuts.
Yeah.
The end of every message, tweet, reply, I had, have a nice day, have a wonderful day, have a fabulous day, bless your. And if they were really irritating and they got up my nose, it was bless your heart. Now, if I say bless your heart, saying bless your heart.
Yeah.
What I mean by that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
we learned that from Nicole. That was the Alabama "fuck yous" like phrasing it.
with all due respect and bless your heart, yeah. So I lifted my head above the parapet, and it's the Twitter for everything, as we'll talk about in a little while as well. Even in here, it's so either on or off. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground whatsoever. You can have done something 20 years ago. Like I could have said, imagine going to a nightclub and send a group of friends, sorry, Kim, please forgive me. Okay. God, this woman, she's got great tits on her. Well, I'm going to try and get up. Where now, if I was at a nightclub a long time ago, with my mates, that might have been the sort of conversation that was going on.
Yeah.
20 years on, I become semi-popular, famous politician, whatever it may be, and somebody remembers that conversation and puts it on social media, and that person would get attacked, killed, or not maybe killed, but cancelled, I think is the term.
Yeah.
And the same with gaming right now, this is going on with gaming right now as well. But if I done something right now and I was a very bad man and I went to jail, or I beat people up, or I committed murder or fraud or all the other bits and pieces, but somebody from the political sphere or an official or somebody gives you a whack around the head, and you stand up for it, you're a hero. But they forget all that stuff. But the 20 years ago stuff, there's such a weird hypocrisy going on in our lives. And when I have to stop, this cancel culture has to stop. It's crazy. Imagine being a kid these days trying to go out and find a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever it may be. I mean what it's a minefield for those kids. I don't, this week alone, about all the people apologizing for making their friends feel uncomfortable because they said something. Jesus, Mark, over the years, we've been doing this for such a long time. We've said stupid stuff.
Oh yeah, said and done stupid stuff for years. Yeah.
We used to have stuff with stupid accents, and veteran gamers read an email in an accent.
Yeah.
And Eric was there reading stuff in a Indian accent or whatever it may be. For I'm not picking them out, but we did the same. We've all done this, and it was all the time, and we learn as we go along. And I'm just fed up with it. I really am. I want people to just love each other.
just fucking chill out a bit. Yeah,
everyone
just step back, relax, and just think about what you're doing. Yeah.
No matter with your skin color, your creed, your religion, where you're from, nobody should have hate spouted at them. Whether I say Joe Biden's speech made me sleepy.
That's your opinion. You're allowed to think that.
Yeah, but
you could have said something far worse than that. So I mean,
we just need to be a bit nicer to each other and not jump off the handle so quickly. To jump down people's throats, I'm sort of glad it happened, because it was real an eye opener at how horrible people can be. Anyway, I'm sorry, it's not political, it's gaming, it's everything. It's social media. There's a real about social media. So if you don't like Twitter, try Parler. So okay. Anything else there before I stop ranting?
No.
I think that's it.
I think we've covered it all. Yeah.
Hey, let's actually talk about some video game stuff, huh?
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
Oh, okay. I've talked too much. Kim, would you
Yes.
go through the new stuff that's happening now for Has the new July stuff started to appear?
If it is, we haven't listed it yet. But
Okay.
yeah, you know. Well, I can look it up on my phone real quick if you want me to do that. You know.
Oh, you
I
can
just
do
posted
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is. I think the Xbox stuff's pretty crappy this month. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's not great. At least I wasn't impressed with it.
You know. Then again, we've got so many games for little time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll come back to that. You look at that up and we'll start talking about the games we played. Mark, I'm going to start. No, I'm not going to start. You're going to start, Mark, because you've been at the GIMP again. Can you talk about your GIMP stuff again?
Yeah, just let me get video feed up. More GTA RP. I wasn't on last week, was I? So a lot has changed. A lot's changed since 2 weeks ago. I said I'd got accepted into medical. So now I'm doing that job now. I've done my 5 hours mandatory supervisory training with a doctor, been going out on calls and doing that, and now I'm qualified and I'm going out on my own, and it's it's really interesting. It's good. It's a completely different aspect to it. I love driving around in the ambulance with blue lights on, helping people and that, but you mainly go to shootings where there's criminals and coppers, and you're either picking all the crims up or you're picking all the coppers up and taking them back with bullet wounds. So yeah, it's been really interesting. I mentioned a while ago I applied for my for audio listeners. Robin has picked up a book called Woke and he's bored stupid. So a few weeks ago I mentioned I applied for my second character to be a canine dog for the police force. I got
kinky.
Yeah, I got a Discord message last night. I got accepted, yeah. So my second character is going to be a woof woof. So that's going to be that's going to put a completely new dynamic into it. I don't know if it's going to work yet. How do you get paid as a dog? Well, that's the main thing. But yeah, it's really interesting being a medic on there. You meet a lot of people being a medic. A lot of the criminal fraternity come through the doors, obviously. So you get to meet a lot of people. They drop you lots of nice things like alcohol and bags of weed and bags of coke. So it's interesting. A lot of funny characters out there, and some really good role playing. I need to take a drink before it's going funny. Gigolo, yeah. We had one where there was two of us on, or three of us on, but two of us in ambulances, and we went out to a distress call, and it was a guy in a car crash. But he's quite high up in the server admin and that. So he was properly seriously role playing, and when we got there, he wasn't responding. He'd use the sort of like the do feature, so at the top it says no response, unconscious. So we got him back to the hospital, and then he'd crashed. His heart had stopped, and we had to do CPR and bring him around. And it took us an hour to get him sort of like stable again, using all these RP techniques. It was quite intense, really, at the time. And then it turns out he tried committing suicide. He crashed his car intentionally. So one of the other ones is a doctor, and they did like a psych test on him and everything. It was just really interesting, right? So this was at like midnight. By the time we'd finished, we looked at the clock. It was 4 a.m. This was last weekend. 4 a.m. So yeah, the night just went really quick. So very interesting, very interesting. It's like it's not for everyone, but if you like this sort of thing, it's fascinating. So yeah, if anyone is interested, it's Little Los Santos. The Discord is discord.lls.gg, and that's the server address as well, lls.gg. So yeah, I won't say no more. I know I'm boring you.
Okay, okay, Mark. All right, I'm glad you're having fun with it. Forgive me.
I love it.
for
It's
not
taken over
doing
my life. Like Dan
yeah.
said, it's my second job now. I'm committed to do 4 hours a week, and last week I did 20 hours.
So, do you remember? Was it like what was it? Second Life, or
Yeah.
that persistent world where you had a house and you got married, and really, when we're going back to flipping Pulp Fiction again, and, there's bound to be a. I mean, that guy that's on the screen right now, he looks like Zed. Zed's there.
Yeah. Well, this is a no pixel server. But yeah, I've got a little bit of footage from my server, but I need to get more really. But yeah, they get really, really involved. Some of them just say, "Oh, just heal me up quick. I want to get back out there." Some of the criminals, but some of them take the roleplay really seriously. So yeah, it's really interesting. Some really good scenarios. In fact, yesterday I wasn't on, but I was watching one of my friends streaming it. He's another medic and he streams it. One of the coppers is that fed up of always being shot and that. His story creation is over the past few weeks. His character's become really depressed and suicidal. And last night he jumped off a tall building and committed suicide. They couldn't revive him, and he actually said, "No, look, I'm dead." So they pronounced him dead. They had a funeral for him. There was a funeral procession to the cemetery on the map. There was all the police were there in their sort of like military styles, like suits, and they had muskets. They did a guard of honor firing salute thing, proper funeral and everything. It was but they were trying to do a serious funeral. And in the map, there must be this cemetery on the map where it's like just preset and there's like a hole in the ground, so that they put in this like coffin as like a prop thing, and then they put him on top of it, but his body's like glitching out, twitching as they're doing funeral procession.
Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, some people take it really, really seriously, and if you don't,
some dark corners to this game. This mod.
Yeah. If you don't roleplay, you get kicked. If you just play it as like GTA Online, they don't like it and you get kicked. So, but yeah, it's very interesting. It's opened up my eyes to another world.
Just sitting here thinking these guys are probably getting laid more than I am. What the hell is wrong with that?
So,
what I found, a lot of these, the young. A lot of them in the early and mid 20s. A lot of them are like university students. I've heard them all talking and that. Some of the medics I work with, they're all at uni, but they've obviously not been because of the COVID thing. And they're talking all this fucking lingo and all this simp stuff, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just says to one of them, says, "You're a lot of baffling me. I'm fucking double your age, and you've lost me." So yeah, most of them are like 25ish. It's just crazy.
You're just a boomer.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's just me or what, but I wouldn't have. I suppose I would expect a lot of young'uns to be playing video games, but not in a roleplay capacity. So I'm quite surprised by that. Yeah,
Mark, the children are our future, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Treat them well, let them lead the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's continues to keep on giving. I think Epic over the last month or so, where they're that big giveaway and they give GTA away as well, has really helped that Epic store. I think they had 61 million concurrent users, which is a record for the Epic Game Store. Not as much as Steam. I think Steam's record is 90 million. But for the Epic Game Store that people swore blind they would never use, 61 concurrent users ain't too bad.
They recently gave away Ark Survival Evolved, didn't they?
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Kim, what have you been up to?
Oh, a little bit of everything. Let's see. I played the little Minecraft Dungeons.
Tony?
I beat was it High Block Hill or High Block Halls today?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot easier when you don't have a 7-year-old stealing all your arrows and then wandering around the screen.
All right. Okay.
Because holy moly. Let's see. I played the delivery game. What is it? Super Reliable Delivery Service or whatever the hell it is. I played a little bit of that. And
is that on Game Pass?
Yes, that's on Game Pass. It was released here a couple weeks ago, I think. And it's a little like I don't know. It's a little like maybe Human Fall Flat, maybe.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't know. Anthony. The only reason I played it is because Anthony downloaded it. He wanted to play it, so I tried it out just to see. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Yeah. And Red Dead 2. I fired that up today and did a few little well, they're not story missions, but they're like the stuff that at the end of the game, if you still gotta find like the dinosaur fossils and that sort of stuff. I did a little bit of that today. Yeah. pretty good for not having much time, but most of it I think I did today, so that's
Yeah.
probably why I could put it down on the list.
Kim,
But,
did you know they now do role play service for Red Dead Redemption 2?
Actually, I knew that
Yeah.
because when I was still playing it hot and heavy, we got in on one of their servers. Because they had I guess they call it a special server or whatever that
Yeah.
didn't have as many griefers and stuff on it. So they would let us come in. We couldn't go in the area they were at because they didn't
Yeah.
want us to screw that up, but they'd let us play anywhere else. So
Yeah.
it was neat.
Yeah, on the PC version, like on the GTA one, there's a mod called 5M. So for the Red Dead version, it's called Red M, and it does similar sort of thing, but obviously you're in the Wild West. So I've seen some streams of it, and it looks interesting in role playing in GTA. Obviously, being a cowboy is cool and everything, but
Oh,
obviously
awesome.
the world is obviously less sparse than a city environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do it, but I'd have to buy Red Dead on PC as well. So but, yeah, a lot of people playing that. A lot of people moving away from GTA are actually onto Red Dead. RP. Anyway, that's enough of RP. Sorry.
It's okay. I understand.
Okay, well, you're still loving it, and love
Yeah.
that you love your Red Dead. You
Yeah.
keep on going back to it. It's like a comfortable pair of
Right.
slippers for you, Kim.
It
isn't
is.
It's such a good
Yeah.
game, wasn't it? Yeah, it's such a good
Yeah.
game.
All right. Well, I finished up Beyond Blue this week. Fuck me. Seriously, Dan, you're in the chat, and I know you've missed your school reunion. Okay, your virtual school reunion. Oopsie. Don't worry. It would have been a case of, oh, hello there, Dan. What are you doing with your life? Oh, yeah, I'm doing better than you. That's what school reunions are all about. Yeah.
Right.
So don't worry about that. But like, you finished Beyond Blue, as pretty as it is, as nice it is as it is, they try to shoehorn some sort of storyline into it, and some sort of message about deep sea drilling and dementia or something with the mother. It was pointless. I just kept, and I'm not a Fraser. I people skip through story beats, and or Fraser and the like do. I just did this because it was pants. It was pretty swimming with the fishies. The fishies were very, very nice. But really all you do is go around, scan fishies, and that's about it. You have a sub that you go around in between missions, and you can listen to music, or you can look at things that you can't pick up. You look at it and it tells you what it is. This is a diary. This is a toolbox. Yeah,
Nice.
stuff like. So I mean, there is no story. The whole thing is, yeah, you swim around, look at fish. Nothing will kill you. There is no peril whatsoever. You swim among these magnificent, gigantic sharks, and yeah, they go hi, and then, yeah, that's about it.
Sounds like a game that would put me to sleep.
You know what? It's really chilled. It is nice. It's sort of chilled, but it was just sort of nice. And when you finish this section, it unlocked, like Issey Miyake, the Eskimo thing. It unlocked little documentary sections, which were interesting, which came in the Deep Blue, or the David Attenborough thing.
Blue Planet, yeah.
Planet. So it's stuff that didn't quite make that. So those are quite interesting. But yeah, so yeah, it's not a game. It's sort of an experience sort of thing. It's pretty and all, but yeah.
Well, what you might like, Robin, is one of the games I've played this week. I've actually played a couple of Xbox games, and it's similar sort of like area. It's underwater. I haven't got a video up of it yet.
Slacker.
But yeah, it's underwater, and it's swimming around with his fish in it. But it's slightly different in the fact that you're actually a shark.
Oh, I was gonna say it's not
Yeah.
Maneater, is it?
It's Maneater. Yeah, I've been playing Maneater.
Oh, I see there.
Me and Greg are both hooked on this game.
have to pick it up.
It's got a few little janky bits with the control and the camera, but you forget all that because it's so good. The shark animations are brilliant. As you level up, the features on my shark get more menacing. I'm now level 17, and my shark looks an absolute badass. It looks like, makes Jaws look like a little kindergarten pup. Yeah, it's crazy now. Once you get to the bigger areas, there's more humans, so you can now triple jump as well as double jump. So you're going out of the water, grabbing humans off boats and everything, and taking them under. And like Greg says the other week, some of the things the humans say is just so funny. It's just hilarious. And the narrator is so sarcastic. You'd love him, Robin.
So what kills you?
Right, so obviously hunters. So once you've killed so many humans, your threat level goes up. So it's like a wanted level. And hunters will come and they will shoot through the water, and they're quite deadly accurate. So you have to evade them or kill them all. Larger predators like crocodiles. I've just gone into an area now where there's other sharks. So there's mako sharks, and they will attack you. There's barracudas. There's other sort of like anything predatory will have a go at you. So yeah, it's very interesting, and each different sea creature will, when you eat them, it gives you a resource, so whether that's protein or crystals, stuff like that. Then you use them to level up with. It's like a currency. So yeah, it's very, very good. Oh yeah, Dan just put in the chat that you get orcas later on, and Greg texted me last night because I was just telling him I got to level 17 and that, and he says, "Oh yeah, I encountered a level 20 orca last night, and it kicked his ass." So yeah, I'm not looking forward to meeting them. Loads of collectibles as well.
Is there sort of a story, like there's like not a story? Is there
there is actually a story. There is a bit of a story actually, but I don't want to say it because it's. Let's just say, if you've seen Bambi, that's on the sort of like lines of story. So, yeah, but yeah, it's good. It's interesting. It's different, and I love the animations and a lot of the level upping system. I've just unlocked an electrified tail fin now. I mentioned last time I got electrified teeth, but I've changed them now. I've got some different teeth. What I've unlocked by killing the sort of like the named hunters for your infamy level. So now my teeth can do more chomping damage, and also it grants me health when I bite people. So that's good.
I mean, have they shoehorned in any sort of Jaws references, or
I've not
need a bigger boat, or
no, I've not seen any yet. This on the screen now. He's just chomped on a human, and instead of keeping on chomping, he's just kept hold of him, and he's gone underwater with him. It's just so satisfying. I know it sounds disturbing. It sounds disturbing eating humans, but once you've played it, you think, oh my god, this is so much fun because it's different. You know what I mean? It's so different. And like the inflatables, you can pop the inflatables. Even the boats, over time you can do damage to the boats, and they'll eventually sink, and then they have to swim away from you, and that's when they're like easy pickings.
We Jimmy never got out of the water. Just a yellow light.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm watching this now. Yeah, that looks like fun.
It is so much fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what? My kids would probably suck that up. Yeah, I don't know if it's
that's what I'm thinking. Tony would love it.
So. Sort of cartoon sort of thing, isn't it?
It's a bit bloody and a bit violent, but yeah, it's so much fun.
Tony's watching play Witcher 3, so it wouldn't bother him.
And Harley Dan says he went for the bone build. We heard that about you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have also been getting stuck in, and I've had more time of an evening, not the last couple of days, but through the week. More Torchlight 2. Loving my Torchlight 2.
It's a brilliant game, isn't it?
I like.
Yeah.
I kind of think I'm now almost past where you guys are. I had looked at sort of your achievements through it.
I've not played it for ages. I need to go back to it.
In
fact, we can all jump in together, can't we? Because it's co-op.
I'm looking at the weapon unlocks and the upload and the upgrades and stuff like that. They're really, really good. Amazing how much stuff they throw on the screen at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah, it's at this level now where I'm at, story wise, of course, it's pointless, but playability, it is as good now where I am, and it's as good as Diablo ever was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's very, very good, and it gets quite tough, and some of these monsters are getting tough. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I like the pop culture references as well. I heard you last week mention. I listened to last week's show, and I heard you talking about the One-Eyed Willy bit.
There's a Goonies.
Yeah.
There's been a few other things as well. The thing I did was the Wankor, or what was the armor? It was named. Which was just wee funny things that it was not really in your face. You know, it was just
Yeah,
a wee
just subtle things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was WANGOR, Wangor, or whatever you could friendly exactly what they meant by that, but
Oh yeah.
just funny wee stuff like that that they seem to throw in. So they've had a lot of fun making this game. So yeah, again, Diablo style, good stuff. The third one's coming out. It's cheapy, and it's on like the Game Pass as well. So yeah, yeah, great. I'm loving it. Really good, really good. Loot, upgrade, loot.
Yep.
Yeah, good monsters. Again, don't have to think too much about it. You can dip in and dip out for a while, and working very well. So I'm enjoying that. Really good. There's The Last of Us.
Yeah. So yeah. So The Last of Us 2 has obviously come out now, and it's getting
Is it?
it's getting a lot of good and bad sort of like reactions. Everyone I know who's played it in our WhatsApp group have been enjoying it, like Lewis and
Really?
yeah,
Is that the right term?
yeah. Well, now the last time I played The Last of Us was when it came out on PS3 all them years ago, and I still claim to this day it's my game of that generation. I think it's still one of my favourite games of all time, but I got the remaster on PS4, but I've never played it. So what I'm doing is I'm replaying it now, so all the story is fresh in my mind, ready for the new game, because I've got the new game downloaded, ready to go. Because my nephew bought it, so I game share with him on PlayStation, so I got it free of charge, which is cool. But yeah, it's amazing how much you actually you remember the key points, but a lot of the sort of like incidental dialogue, which is really interesting in this because the storytelling's fantastic. You forget all that, especially after sort of like, what is it, 7 years?
Do you not think, Mark, that we're like that? I mean, because
Yeah.
maybe not so much now, but wind back 2 or 3 years ago, like the BioShock Infinite stuff. I remember, it came out and I had it finished within like 2 days, and and the different games we just powered through them.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a lot of games that we've done that with.
Yeah,
That we
yeah.
go back now and go, oh shit, I forgot
Yeah,
about this.
yeah, and now I'm taking my time. Well, I listened to all the dialogue in the first time, but it's been so long, and that opening sequence, it still hits me hard, especially with what's happened in my life. So it's especially touching for me.
Yeah.
And all these people who say they hate the ending, they don't understand the ending. I understand exactly why Joel did what he did at the end of The Last of Us, the first one. And I think I might have made the same decision, because unless you've been in that scenario where you've lost a child, to have to decide whether, and I know it's not his child, but he's become sort of like an adopted father to Ellie, to have to give that choice of life or death to that child. I don't blame him in the slightest, and I think I'd have made the same decision. I think there's got to be another way of curing the sort of like the disease. So yeah, I can't wait to play 2 to find out what happens there. But yeah, just thoroughly enjoying 1. I'm not that far into it. I've met Ellie now, and I've got to a point where I've said goodbye to Trish. I know it's an old game. I don't want to give spoilers, but for those who've played it, I've said goodbye to Trish now, so people who've played it will understand what I mean by that. So that's where I've got to in the story on that. But yeah, loving it. The tickers are still absolute bastards if you don't have a shiv. They'll just one hit kill you, bite you on the neck, and you're dead. But yeah, you need shivs, lots of shivs. And Greg, please get over the knife blocks.
So okay, well I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I finished it properly this year. And I'm going to jump ahead because there's an article in Kotaku over the last couple of days, and they say The Last of Us Part 2 is about violence and very little else.
Yeah,
now, this is
I've heard it's very dark and
an opinion
yeah.
piece. Yeah. So I mean, they're saying like, I cut out a part of the article, but they're saying when the ideas are gone for those couple of characters, nothing remains but violence. The violence permeates the entire game, poisoning every moment with the idea of more violence to come. Repeatedly, the game's most interesting ideas are abandoned. Its most important themes passed over, so more bad things can happen to its central cast, and the developers can remind you that killing a named character in a cutscene is bad while letting you dispatch hordes of nameless NPCs without second thought. The Last of Us 2 is desperately wants to say something meaningful about its big themes, but amid the violence and cruelty and shouting, it never finds time to spit it out. Now that's kind of negative-ish,
Yeah.
okay, and it's negative, but I think they're maybe asking too much of a video game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, The Last of Us, and probably this, I haven't played it, but probably this is probably one of the best stories in a video game that you can follow and get invested in the characters. Dark or not,
Yeah.
it's a dark sub.
I was just going to say, it's a bit like The Walking Dead, isn't it? It's not going to be all roses and nice, happy families, is it? It's apocalyptic. It's eat or
But
be eaten,
again,
die or
I mean,
die,
what do
be
you
killed
do?
or something.
If
Kill or be killed.
it was just a walking simulator, but there was no action in it, what sort of thing would it be? It would it would just be a walking simulator. So you have to have that gameplay, it's a balance.
Yeah.
But I look forward to playing it. But it sounds like it's a chore. It sounds like it's hard going.
Yeah.
I know there's been a few completions this week, and some of them are saying, Dave O'Malley had said, when he does completion, don't listen to the haters.
Yeah.
I know Greg didn't play it.
Oh,
but
he
somebody
watched a full stream of all the cutscenes and everything. Yeah.
He watched the whole game. Yeah. So do you know what? He is so negative against Sony. He's never owned a PlayStation 4. He's nothing whatever. And even in this case here, he's just watching it. It's just and then passing judgment on that game. He hasn't played it.
What makes me laugh is, and I think I forgot this, a few years ago when we were having sort of like some of our challenges with the True Skill guys, Step J once watched, instead of playing, a game on Twitch, and we criticised him for commenting and having an opinion about that game by not playing it, by watching it. I think it was an Uncharted game. I think it was Uncharted 4. And both myself and Greg sort of like not had a go at him, but sort of like said, well, you can't really comment on a game you haven't played. And now Greg, fast forward all these years, Greg is now doing exactly the same. Greg,
okay, to his credit, he was just watching it.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah. So buy a PS4, Greg, and get it played. But he won't do. I think he's going to get a PS5, so he might play it in the future.
Yeah, it's funny. Judith, I was talking to Judith the other day, and she said, Judith's not interested in video games at all, and but she knows she can't miss that I am interested in my stuff, nerdy stuff. And we were talking about, we were talking about EGX, funny enough, and saying like there's the first time now in 10 years I haven't been going to a video game event in September, October. And even this year, you would have thought there'd be sort of something happening, and seeing they're launching 2 consoles. He said, well, you're not going to buy a PlayStation, are you? I said, well, because you bought the last one, you hardly ever used it. And I didn't realize that Judith didn't know.
All right, yeah.
Hardly ever used it. So, I mean, what did I play on my PlayStation 4? The Uncharted games.
Yeah.
Last of Us. What else? Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Did you play God of War? Yeah.
No, didn't play it. No.
You tried Horizon Zero Dawn and you didn't like it.
Nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't like.
I must admit, I got both consoles at launch, and I don't regret either of them. The PlayStation has got some fantastic games, story-driven games, but like I said before, the sort of like gaming community for my friends has all seemed to shift over to Xbox now. But yeah, I don't regret having them both. But the next lot of consoles is going to be Xbox first, and I'm not sure about PS5 yet. Maybe in a few years, depends.
Yeah, I think I'm similar.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely new Xbox. I think there's plenty of life in my Scorpio here.
Yeah.
And the new Xbox will come to here, and the Scorpio will go inside to the big screen crib.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's one of the problems coming out at night time, and why I'm getting a bit more gaming in is I had the PlayStation against the new big TV. So I changed it over and put the PlayStation in where the big screen is now, the drop down screen, and I moved the Xbox, my original Xbox, out to the living room with the big screen, and that's where I'm playing a bit more. But I think the Scorpio will go out there, and
Yeah, when I get
so-
the new Xbox, my Xbox One X will go downstairs then. Because I've got a 4K TV downstairs as well. So because I've not got any form of optical media reading device downstairs to play any of my. I've got loads of DVDs and Blu-rays. I have nothing to play them on.
What do you do? I mean, with DVDs now?
I don't.
Who
Well,
takes them?
I can't
They
remember
give
the last
them
time
to
I bought one.
charity or-
Everything's streamed now, isn't it? I can't remember the last time I bought. In fact, the last Blu-ray I bought was Star Wars Rogue One. I've not bought one since then.
No, I haven't in years.
I used to like collecting like the stuff like the Star Wars movies. I used to always buy them regardless. But even that stopped now because
Yeah, I mean over here, I'm looking up at them, and there's the whole Star Trek pack, and there's a few Back to the Future things. I got it on my on display, but I haven't bought anything like this in years. Even the kids now, where the kids would have had little, in the car, little portable
Yeah.
DVD players and all that, but that's all gone now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we
quite
bought-
recently we were sorting some stuff out, and I found a load of VHS movies, proper ones, not like
Yeah,
ones you
yeah,
buy
I've
at movies and
heard
that.
of
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're not worth shit, man. No one wants them. I've ended up having to throw some out.
Well, I will keep the real classics and
Yeah,
keep a dozen or so of the real classics, put them away in the attic for something like that there. But
yeah.
you can let go of, I don't know.
Well, all the
watch
good ones, what I do like, I've bought again on DVD, and I've bought again on bloody Blu-ray. I've kept the Star Wars ones. I've got Star Wars,
yeah.
the whole Star Wars lot on VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD. So, yeah.
Oh, I think I have on VHS is in there, Three Men and a Little Lady.
Oh wow.
Yeah, on
Yep.
VHS. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got all the Back to the Futures on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. So yeah, it's just insane.
Again, what do you do with DVDs?
I don't know. I've nothing unless I come up here now because all my stuff's up here. What can read them? I've nothing in the living room to read them, but everything's streamed downstairs now. There's no need for an optical device, really.
I mean, Dan's saying he's just buying 4K UHDs, but sorry, Dan, that's going to be the same thing. It's lovely to have that physical thing if it's a nice collector's pack or something, but the 4K stuff, yeah, as the infrastructure improves, it's going to go that way because you can choose now on Amazon to have a 4K stream. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
I've got the Amazon and Netflix apps obviously built into the smart TV, and it automatically streams through at 4K. So I don't even have to do anything.
just in case the zombie apocalypse comes and we need to, set up with a generator, we need to have DVDs. Cause
Yeah, that's when you're gonna need them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, right. Let's talk about a bit of news. News then, because that's sort of gaming stuff done. So let's talk about some news. Or do you have the list of the freebies, Kim?
I do. I have the ones for Xbox. So
Okay.
the others I don't think are out yet.
What's
All right. Your game that's gold for July will be World Rally Championship 8. That'll be out the 1st through the 31st. 8. Yep. Dunk Lords. I had to make sure I didn't say Drunk Lords. Dunk Lords, which will be out July 16th through August 15th. And then we have Saints Row 2 and Juju for the Xbox 360 backwards compatible. So, yeah.
PlayStation, when I had to switch it on the other night for all those kids that were here, I went and grabbed Call of Duty. Star Wars I have on EA Access anyway, so very good. And then there's all the Twitchy stuff. You can look it up. Stadia Pro.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, freaking ton of
Yeah, it's July soon, so they'll all be changing.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's talk about a bit of news.
Here is the fucking news.
Okay, I suppose the big thing in the gaming community, especially for the streaming community, is the very fast and sudden, so it seems by us anyway, the shutdown of Mixer. No. We always kind of laughed at Mixer. It seemed to be a good enough service, but Twitch seemed to have the thing, and YouTube was there. So Mixer was owned by Microsoft, as far as I'm aware, completely owned by Microsoft.
It was originally Beam, and then Microsoft bought them and changed it to Mixer. Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, it's shutting down, and there's lots of people had, for one reason or another, decided to make their home in Mixer, and I suppose they took advantage of it not being that popular and being able to establish themselves. Where Twitch, you were lost, maybe a bit easier, and it came as quite a shock to them. So I'll just go through some of the stuff that was said officially, because they're going to join forces with Facebook. Anyway, so I'll read through this and then we'll have a chat about it. Ultimately, the success of partners and streamers on Mixer is dependent on our ability to scale the platform for them as quickly and broadly as possible. It became clear that the time needed to grow our own live streaming community to scale was out of measure with the vision and experiences that Microsoft and Xbox want to deliver for gamers now. So we've decided to close the operations side of Mixer and help the community transition to a new platform. To better serve the community's needs, we're teaming up with Facebook to enable the Mixer community to transition to Facebook gaming. This is a key part of a broader effort that Xbox and Facebook gaming are embarking on, bringing new experiences and opportunities to the entire world of gaming. So, a load of crap then about, like 700 million people every month touch a gaming thing on Facebook. Now, that could be farming or anything like weird, wonderful match 3 games or watch a gaming video. So, positives, Facebook is a massive platform. I don't know. I think the people that play those sorts of games on Facebook surely are more casual gamers. Is that wrong for me to say that?
There's a few. There's a couple of big streamers on Facebook. The most noticeable I know of is Stone Mountain 64. He used to do all the Battlefield. Come on, soldier, and like platoon stuff, comedy videos, and then
Battlefield Friends.
Then he started off, and he started off sort of like streaming then, and now he's give up his job and he's a full-time Facebook gaming streamer, and he's really popular on there. But there's not that many on Facebook I know of.
So the Mixer server, it will continue to run until July 22nd. So it's shutting down very, very quickly, and it'll go redirect to Facebook gaming now. So I don't know what will happen if you don't transition. So if you don't move over, or if there's something you have to do, if you're a Mixer streamer, does it just automatically change the look and feel to Facebook? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So some of the streamers have kicked up merry hell about this.
A lot of them have been loyal to Mixer and stayed with this platform, trying to help it grow. They feel a bit.
We had an interesting debate. I think Greg kind of went, well, tough titty.
Yeah.
I think Mark had a lot of sympathy for these people.
Yeah.
My attitude is, well, do you know what? They were making money out of a platform that was set up for them, that they weren't actually creating anything, that they were playing games and streaming stuff up. And yes, they give their time and energy to it, but they can do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? And this, for me, and maybe everybody has an opinion, this industry has moved on so fast. It was just the other day we were all on GeoCities. And talking about MySpace.
Yep.
And every 3 or 4 years, the thing seems to completely reinvent itself. I mean, look now. We went from Facebook, which was the whole thing, and YouTube, and Twitter, and TikTok now, and even what was the other one? It's Snapchat. I mean, Snapchat seems to be. Where is it now? Where TikTok seems to be. So things move so fast, and the live streaming thing is just finding its feet. And I get it. Maybe there were. I can't imagine Microsoft worrying about throwing money at it. They can afford it. They're a big company, and maybe they just weren't. It wasn't making the headway they wanted to, and maybe this is how they think it's going to be hard for these people now, but it'll be better in the long run. I mean, there's other people there. Was it Lindsay Wood? So, big Mixer partner, she says, I looked at my phone one time in all the hours that I drove, and that one time I had multiple calls and texts, and a push notification from Mixer's Twitter. She told Kotaku in an email. I had to pull over and have my mother drive so I could focus on what was happening. Once I realized my entire channel would be deleted, that the community I loved, like family, would be ripped apart. And 2.5 years full of 80-hour stream weeks, that everything I loved and adored about Mixer would be gone in 30 days. I began to feel my life start to shatter beyond my control. Now, I hope that her stuff moves over to Facebook. That she hasn't lost all that back stuff.
Yeah, I can see him transferring the profiles over. I don't know about all the video on demands. That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and as we talked a few weeks ago there, and even affecting ourselves about having music or anything copyrighted, you know, there's all that stuff going on at the moment as well. So everybody has their hand out, make a bob or two now. So there's been massive change in the streaming thing that people have made careers out of. What?
What I found interesting is I looked on Mixer the other night just to see what people are doing, and you know when you first go on it and there's all the different tiles of all the different streamers, so you can choose who to watch. Nearly all of them have like looped videos saying moving to Twitch, join me at such and such and such twitch.tv, and they're all advertising moving to Twitch. So I've not seen anyone going to Facebook Gaming.
Yes, Mark, but the same thing will happen that happened with Mixer. Somebody somewhere will go, this is an opportunity for me to make it big as well.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, yes, a lot to say, well, moving to Twitch, fig them, and it's the end of the world. In a couple of months' time, it'll be forgotten about, and they'll go, but there will be people, they'll make the best. If the Facebook join up is a success, I suppose. So, because Twitch still has the... You know, I think YouTube has. Yeah. There's a little bit of territory, but Twitch must have them the lion's share of the market.
I saw
continue to have it.
There's a graph somewhere online which shows you Twitch's sort of like audience levels going up, Facebook's audience levels skyrocketing, and Mixer's just like constant, really just drooping off a little bit. So a lot
wasn't it?
No,
I think the technology was there. It was a good.
The technology was there. They had a really good latency and really good image quality. Just it's a shame, really.
Yeah, so I'm a great believer in if somebody's an expert about something, and take their expertise. And I don't think Microsoft was an expert at this platform. So.
It's similar to what they did with Nokia, isn't it? It's similar. They tried getting in the phone market, that didn't work. They've tried the streaming market, that's not worked, so they're just pulling out.
So in related stuff then, Twitch has banned someone, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
So just a day or so ago, out of the blue, Twitch suspended the massively popular streamer guy, Dr. Disrespect. What did he do?
Nobody knows.
Right.
Somebody knows, but they're not talking.
What did he stream?
Oh, he streamed a lot of first-person shooters, like Battle Royales, PUBG. I actually watched him, I followed him. I didn't subscribe, but I followed him because I find his character, his persona funny. He's quite hilarious to watch, he's entertaining. And I liked him, I didn't mind him. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Twitch has just recently started clamping down on historical sexual abuse cases and banning streamers for that. So there's a lot of people speculating it's something to do with that and that affair he had recently.
Which is kind of what we were talking about. I was ranting on about earlier on.
But until I see anything official, just take anything you hear online with a pinch of salt, because people are just saying loads of different shit about him. And until you hear something from Twitch themselves or from Dr. Disrespect, I just won't believe anything really. There's a lot of accusations out there, and a lot of people are going to look silly when the truth comes out.
Yeah, it won't be a news. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, you know, I hope he hasn't done anything really bad. So.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So you know, somebody said it's serious, but you know, it's serious enough that his revenue stream is sort of shut down now as well.
Yeah.
So. Just you know what? Again, everybody is scared of their own shit right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Cancel culture is just crazy at the moment.
Anyway, okay. The last thing I want to talk about here is Sony and the ex Sony exec. What was his name?
Sean Layden.
Sean Layden. Yeah. So he was interviewed and he was talking about the length of games. And the cost that it takes to make them. So the former Sony exec calls for shorter games that are cheaper to make. So the common sentiment gets batted around every few months with new blockbuster launches with dozens of hours of content. Sean Layden, former chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, seems to agree. I would welcome the return of 12 to 15-hour games. Layden, who departed Sony last year after almost 32 years, told VentureBeat's Dean Takahashi, fuck, I'm going to get cancelled, in an interview at this year's GameLab conference, I would finish more games. First of all, absolutely. I would finish more games, first of all. Just like a well-edited piece of literature or a movie. I've been looking at the discipline around that and the containment around that. It could get us tighter, more compelling content. It would be something I'd like to see a return to. Do you know what? Sometimes I love those big games, but I also love that 12 to 15 hour window.
I think 15 hours is the sweet spot for a nice story led single player game. Like I've mentioned recently, Phil commented on it, and I've commented on it before. Stuff like Ghost Recon Wildlands, 80 odd hours. It's too much. It starts getting. You can't have something new all the time in an 80-hour game. It starts getting repetitive. There's not what you can do about that. So yeah, I think 15 hours is a sweet spot. I think God of War was about 12 to 15 hours, sweet spot.
It's really, okay, so
yeah.
that was a length of time. Okay,
I think, yeah.
Well,
I can't remember.
so he sort of went on to say, like major AAA games in the current generation go from anywhere from 80 million squid-diddlies to 150 million or more to build, and that's before marketing. As far as I'm aware, and not in this article, but the marketing can be as much almost as the build. If I remember, was it what was the shooter? Homefront? Wasn't it Homefront?
Yeah.
That the marketing cost more than the build of the game.
Yeah.
It was crazy money. You know, they pretty much took over San Francisco and LA as far as every billboard and all that sort of stuff. So 80 million for a game. It's kind of disgusting, actually, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're making money out of. Sorry, forgive me. This is what we love. We love games. Forgive me. They're making money out of this here, but it's a lot of money for those big long game or tall games, and so yeah. Anyway, so conference comes shortly after release of The Last of Us Part 2, a game that was in development for 6 years and can take anywhere from 20 to 30 hours to beat. A substantial increase in the first game's roughly 15-hour main game campaign. Didn't realize it was longer. Because The Last of Us, the first one, felt long enough.
Yeah.
It felt long enough.
Yeah.
At the time, many critics have pointed out just how emotionally exhausting the game's extensive documentation of torture and tragedy can feel. Maybe that's why it felt long enough. But yeah, so then there's stuff like Red Dead Redemption and GTA and some of those bigger games where it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, some games are suited to that length. Yeah,
story games.
Yeah,
you know,
I think it gets back to the thing we mentioned right at the beginning of the show, is that we feel time is more important to us now than when we were younger. So we might feel it more. I don't know. That's my personal feeling on it anyway. I just find my time more valuable at the moment.
Well, he finished off the interview saying, like, how can we look at it and say, is there another answer? Instead of spending 5 years making an 80-hour game, what does 3 years and a 15-hour game look like? What are the costs around that? So, do you make a tighter game? I mean, do you?
But there's a lot of games out there. What are that length, aren't there? There's a good mix at the moment.
I think he's talking about people being stricter, but editing their own work, making it tighter, not just making it bigger and packing it out, just making it tighter. Take Assassin's Creed for example, Mark.
There's a lot of filler in them, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, take all those little icons you have to go to for sort of kind of pointless stuff. Yeah. But the OCD and the people have to have good times to get them all.
On both Origins and Odyssey, there's places on the map what you don't even need to go to on the story missions. And yet, on these islands, there's all this stuff what's been spent hours and hours of programming and money put into these islands. And you never even fucking visit them half of the time, unless you're a completionist. Yeah, I can see his point.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, that's about all we have news. That's enough. new releases. Let's talk about the new releases. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Alrighty, your new releases for June 28th through July 4th are Hunting Simulator 2 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, which is out June 30th. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 on the Switch, June 30th. Xeno Alice for the iOS and Android, July 1st. Trackmania for the PC, also on July 1st.
Eh?
Yeah,
Trackmania, that's an old game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of thought so. Infliction Extended Cut for the Switch on July 2nd, and Marvel's Iron Man VR for PlayStation VR on the 3rd. And those are your new releases.
I think people have said that Iron Man thing is pretty good, actually. A VR one for Iron Man. All right, Victory Achieved. We're almost to the end of a quarter. Victory Achieved is our ongoing competition that you just finish games and you get entered into a draw to win money, $20 or 15 quid. So what you do is you take a photograph of yourself with the credits of the game that you've just finished rolling up in the background, and you send it off in a tweet to at OC_podcast on Twitter with the hashtag Victory Achieved, and we retweet it, and you get entered into a draw. And next week we'll announce the winner. The final date for this quarter is on the 30th, the last day of this month. And we'll announce a new winner. Last quarter's winner was the Taffman. So the next one will be winning money next week. We'll be announcing that. And the people that finished games this week, Little Lord, he finished Tangled 2.
Is that based on the cartoon animated film thing?
Yeah, it must be. It must be. Really? Tangled 2 on a Switch? Yes. Dear. Let down your hair, will you? John Mouse, he went through Fractured Minds. Pete, see what you've done here? People got their 1000G and learnt about themselves a little bit.
Yeah, and stood next to a zebra crossing for 10 minutes for no.
Yes, indeed. I don't believe Phil did it. Maybe he did, but he said he was trying to get that last achievement, that you have to stand beside the zebra crossing for between 7 and 10 minutes. And I told him that there's another way to get it as well. Get yourself knocked down 5 times in a row, and I think he went and did it.
Yeah.
It's not working. It hasn't popped.
Yeah. Maybe just a message pops up on chat. Cunt.
Sorry, Phil. So, he finished Sniper Elite 4 and enjoyed.
Yeah, he said he really enjoyed that. Yeah.
He enjoyed shooting balls off.
Good.
Dave Malik, well done, sir. The Last of Us Part 2 completed. Good lad. He loved it. Hardly Dan finished Darksiders War Mastered Edition, and he also finished a game called Observation, which raised a few eyebrows. People were interested in that. I finished, of course, Beyond Blue, and Colin Allcars, he also finished The Last of Us Part 2. So, winner will be announced next week. You can win some money, and now we play some fella saying he wishes everyone would hug a hippie.
You all have a victory's achieved. Victory's achieved. Victory's achieved.
Right, well, I think that's kind of almost a show. We'll be almost a show. We would love to hear and get an email from you guys, or a tweet, podcast@ocpod.com, or you can tweet us at OC_podcast. Facebook is fb.ocpod.com. Leave us a review if you want to somewhere, or send us hate mail, whatever is your thing. It's just a nice, easy way to contact us all the time. So, yeah, we love feedback. It's nice. It's always lovely getting sort of feedback from places. I had a lovely. Darn it! I meant to bring you. Forgive me for just quickly looking this up if I can find it in my flipping thing. Infected Psych, of course. Sorry. So Infected Psych contacted me through the week to ask when I'm in the States next. Because he's up in Tennessee, and we talked about going to Tennessee next year, and it kind of was looking like it was completely off the cards a couple of weeks ago, but over the last few weeks it kind of looks like it might be possible, depending on the zombies. So we might get out to Tennessee. We have to go to Greece for a wedding, to one of the Greek islands, and we're hoping the Queen thing will be on next year again, stuff like that. So we have to just work out the itinerary, but it's looking more likely we'll be back into the States and around Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, that sort of area in Tennessee. But in fact, it's like he said, look, we'd love to if you're going to be up there, we'd love to hook up, maybe come out to our place. We have a shooting range if you want to do the real American.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
So yeah,
Nice.
so absolutely. If we're out there, don't worry, we'll be in touch and we'll invade and we can barbecue and do all the real lovely Tennessee type things. So can't wait for that. So yeah, look, sorry, I digress. I don't know, where did I get there? Anyway, okay,
Fine.
yeah. So Kim, talk about people
Yes.
that are in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we've had a bunch of shatters today. Let's see. There's Hardly Dan, another TT viewer, Aiton, Blitch Pike, Lecturer Reflux, Lord, Scott Stubby, Commander Root, Hey, it's Blue XD, and Rain God Zippo.
Ooh.
So thanks
Oh,
for
wow,
joining
Brian.
the chat.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, fella. Wow. Cool. Oh, from Scotland. Okay, Mark, would you like to say any shout-outs to anybody before we get out of here?
Everyone in the chat, you two guys for being on the show this week, especially Kim's hair. It's very nice. But my sort of like main serious shout out this week is to obviously Gary Lever. I hope you get well soon, Gary, and to all these
Sure.
friends, close friends and his family. I just my thoughts, and I'm not religious, but I've been praying for him. So yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with you guys, especially like Dan, who's known him years and they're very close. So yeah, if you ever want to talk, Dan, we're all here for you. So I sent him a message last night with the same thing.
I could be honest with that.
No, he's lovely, he's Dan. So yeah, Gary, we love you. Get well soon. How about you,
Sure.
Kim?
Same, if you guys need to talk, or if anybody needs to talk, you can find me on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. I almost said Twitch, and I thought, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I'm not on Twitch, so no. So yeah, hopefully this week is good for everybody. Hopefully we get some more good news about Gary, because man, that just sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, shout out to you guys. It's always fun getting on here, and like my Twitter handle said, I might have to start dressing up for these things because I keep buying clothes that I'm gonna wear out, and then I realize, hey, I don't go out, so Twitter. Actually, Phil's put me up to a challenge for that, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, have a good week. Hopefully the weather's nice wherever you are, and over to you, Robin.
The weather will not be nice here this week, so yeah, fuck you. I look forward very much next week to giving the Victory Achieved winners out. I also, bye Kim. I also,
I'm there.
oh, you're still there. I also look forward to very much seeing the calendar of Kim's next week. See
Yeah,
if there's
yeah.
a new
Yeah.
calendar unfolding.
New Fireman and new Geralt week next week.
Pete, bollocks to you and your vodka. I've only had it a few days and it's going to be gone. I'd like to shout out Brian Blessed. I bumped into Brian the other day and he was in great form, so we had a good old chat with Brian Blessed. And Gary and Dan, two buddies at the other sides of the pond. Gary, get well soon, mate. From all of us here. And again, if you're struggling out there, anybody, we are non-judgmental generally, unless you're Joe Biden. We're here. Contact us by email, by text, by Twitter, direct message, on WhatsApp, whatever, if you want to, Yeah, it's just nice. It's a big community. It's actually, when things like this happen, we realize that it is one big extended family, isn't it? And it's lovely.
Yeah. We're all sort of like, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but we're all one happy sort of like podcast family, aren't we, Robin? Play your clip.
Yeah. Look, do you know what, Mark? When we meet up, it's like we were always together, and the things like when we've met quite a few times now, and we'll meet in London, wherever it may be, and even when Fraser walked in and Gary there this year, and Greg, I mean, it just clicked straight away. And that's this big family, and all the people that come, like Brian down from Scotland, and the guys from all over the world, and the UK, and it's lovely. We're all pretty much like-minded. I think some extreme folk are right on the fringes, but the majority of us are pretty level-headed in the middle of everything, and try to be nice to people. And I think that's what's people to this community, Anyway, Next week, some of the other crew will be back. I believe Gary won't be playing golf. He's going to come on the podcast. Phil Olsen's definitely going to be on the podcast next week.
It keeps threatening he's going to be on next week, so next week he might be on.
And the three of us are going to have a week off next week. So don't want to hear any crap about Gary, the 4th of July weekend, or Greg DeLacy, the 4th of July. I don't care. You've got a podcast today.
Damn
Right.
right.
And everybody, be safe, be sensible, have fun, play lots of games, and be nice to each other. Don't be dicks. All right. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.